On the heels of Paul Tassi and Tom Warren using Destiny 2 as a barometer for Stadia engagement, this litmus is now being put under a microscope. What's true? What's not? What should we learn from all of this? Let's get into it. What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K, back again with another one. Do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications so you know when your boy's dropping these Stadia doses. I appreciate all of y'all. Straight up, because y'all know the deal. What's the slogan? What? I am not too proud to ask. Let's get into it. Okay, so people are now questioning the stability of Stadia's player base, okay? Some reports spoke of 200,000, a cap of 200,000. Others say, well, you got to multiply that 200,000 by at least 2 due to the buddy passes that were given out. Now, a more questionable gauge has come up, and the internet is running wild with it. But should they? All right, so here's the deal, y'all. As pundits began to ever so slyly admit that they misjudged the performance of Stadia, Paul Tassi, they can't help but support flawed litmuses. It appears that they're now using this flawed litmus based off a report that comes out every Thursday. Now, what is this report? It appears that every Thursday, Bungie releases Destiny 2 platform numbers, okay? Now, as far as Stadia is concerned, as of November 26, 2019, there stood to be around a little bit below 20,000 Destiny 2 players on Stadia. But a month after that, like in mid-December, it shrunk down to between 8 to 10,000, and it's remained that way. All right. So what does this all mean on the heels of this being reported prior, Paul Tassi picking it up, doing a story on it, and the internet running wild on it? Well, let's talk about it. In actuality, you want to know the truth? As far as Stadia usage altogether, it means nothing. It is the most flawed litmus ever attempted. Okay? Tom Warren already tried this. All right? He already tried it. And here's where he already tried it. You know what I'm saying? Tom Warren, what was this? Around December 19th, 2019, came out there, used the same litmus, and then us fellow Stadia players came out there and said, hold on, Tom. What are you talking about? Why are you so focused on Destiny 2? Destiny 2 is not a good barometer of Stadia players and what they're into and if they're falling off the platform. There's a whole bunch of other factors. And when they pointed out those factors to him accurately, what did he do? He started calling them names and started spouting stuff that wasn't true. It was brought to Google's attention, and he went on a blocking spree, which included us in Stadia doses. But that's okay. That's okay. Like I said, one day we will run potato sack races with Tom again like we did as youth. No, we didn't, but anyway. So, with that being said, this was already attempted. However, Paul Tassi then writes an article about this, right? And I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm not mad at the article, but when you look at the title, even though Paul brings it up in a more respectable manner, his title is like blood in the water for a bunch of Daddy Device sharks. Okay, that's what I like to call it. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And here's the truth, though. Despite all that, despite using this flawed, super flawed litmus to try to determine how many Stadia people out there, and I get it, people are upset because Google just isn't handily giving them this information, right? But here's why you can't use this litmus amidst your frustrations. Factor 1. Big games and features released exactly when this sharp decline started. Borderlands 3, one of the biggest, if not the biggest game of 2019 as far as third-party games are concerned, opposite of like a Call of Duty or something like that, you know what I'm saying? But well, listen, I'll put it like this. One of your biggest action shooter games out there, and probably your more popular looter shooter. You know, at Gearbox and Randy Pitchford, they said that, well, this was the first looter shooter, and it went head to head with Destiny 2 in 2019, or Destiny 2 Shadowkey. And it seems like that Borderlands 3 is the more popular game, right? That finally hit the system. You want to know what also hit the system the same time, around the same time frame, within the same week, within the same day? that these numbers were pulled when the sharp decline started? You want to know what else released? Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Now hold up, before y'all sit there and say MM2K, Ghost Recon Breakpoint was not a media darling. It didn't get critical acclaim and it underperformed. Those are all true. However, its underperformance was based upon them having very high numbers for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Ghost Recon Breakpoint still did well. It still charted on NPD and such. You know what I'm saying? It still did pretty well. So it has a following, for one. And for two, this game was the first game to premiere with a Stadia exclusive feature, which is Stream Connect, which is the feature that allows you to see what your other teammates are seeing on screen. It's like a picture-in-picture thing, okay? And that was a big deal for Stadia players, okay? So you had those two games releasing back-to-back around the same time that this sharp decline occurred. You want to know what else came out around that time frame? Darksiders Genesis was also available in this time frame. Before y'all say, oh, hold on, Darksiders Genesis, oh, that small AA game, let me show y'all something. Darksiders Genesis has a meta of 78 and it has a user score of 8.0. Pay very close attention to that before you start running down the hall with scissors like a little crazy child, okay? So, that's factor number one. Big games again and features released exactly when this decline started. Thing number two, bigger discounts actually occurred as well. If y'all follow my content, y'all remember, and let me go over here to the store. Y'all remember that it was I and others that said, hey, we love this performance on this platform. However, a lot of these games are too high. You want us to double dip, Stadia, Google, you know what I'm saying? You got to bring the prices of the games. Particularly, you got to bring down prices for games like Rage 2. You know what I'm saying? And what did they do? They discounted Rage 2 to $20. Okay? To $20. Rage 2 looks fantastic on Stadia, and big ups to people like Duncan, my homie Duncan, that's uploading footage. He works with Stadia Source. You know what I'm saying? The game looks gorgeous on Stadia. Okay. Now, you also have the biggest game in 12-month rolling calendar period, which is Red Dead Redemption 2. That saw a significant decline as far as, or decrease, or discount rather. Okay. Was dropped to $47. All right. Now I didn't grab that one up yet because I'm not, you know, that's not me, but as far as, you know, jumping all over Red Dead Redemption 2, but trust me, that's a very popular game. So you had that game. And as we also know, along with the discount, Red Dead Redemption 2 is the biggest game and the most chore-heavy game out there, right? People talk about, oh, I'm riding the stagecoach forever and all this other stuff. So that's going to pull you away from a looter shooter like Destiny, right? And if we want to talk about popularity, again, Red Dead Redemption 2 has a meta score around 97, and it has a user score of 8.1. Pay close attention to that once again, okay? Lastly, here's what we bringing home, people. Here's where we got to keep it real. And Paul Tassi alludes to this in this article. That's why I wish his title was phrased better, but I get it. He's in it for clicks, I get it. But here's the fact, people. Everybody just don't like Destiny. They just don't. I mean, and this is coming from somebody that originated as a big-time Destiny 1 player. I mean, golly, I thought Children Youth Services was coming to get me. How invested I was in the first Destiny. You know what I'm saying? Kids was trying to pry me off my Xbox 360. Okay? Again, as a big Destiny 1 player, as someone that kind of dibble-dabbled in Destiny 2 at launch, coming back to it now, even though I see a lot of things in Destiny 2 and it's cool, I'm confused, man. I'm confused. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm trying to pick up on the story elements, and it's just not for me right now. It's not for me. And as Buddy Passes came out also during this time frame, again, more games, more popular games, Borderlands 3, you know what I'm saying, were cheap. They were heavy discounted, you know what I'm saying, for people that had Buddy Passes. Also, there were more free games that were included around this same time. You had a Tomb Raider game that was put in there. You had Samurai Showdown that was put in there, okay? So, again, I don't get where all this critical information wasn't put in there, okay? You had all this stuff happening to draw your attention away from one game, right? And it's one game. So you had all this stuff happening, again, to draw your attention away from one game, but on top of that, Destiny, even though it's a big game, it doesn't have broad appeal. That's just the pure facts. I showed you the meta and the user score for Darksiders Genesis. I showed you the meta and the user score for Red Dead Redemption 2. Now look at the meta and the user score for Destiny 2 Shadowkeep. 77 and a user score of 5.9. Like, come on, people. What is we doing out here? Stop it. So that's it, folks. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't just read a headline and go running, like I said earlier, like a kid with scissors in his hand. No matter where you personally fall, as far as your opinion of Stadia and cloud gaming in general, at least, look, do yourself a favor and do your integrity a favor. At least argue from a place of knowledge. Because y'all ain't right now. All these silly YouTubers, all these goofy bugs sitting there. I even saw one guy say that Destiny 2 was a perfect gauge for Stadia players. If that wasn't the most idiotic thing I've ever heard in my life, period. But that's it. I digress. That's it from your boy MM2K. Let me know what you think about what I had to say in the comment section below, because like I always tell y'all, who cares what I think? But if you did like what I had to say, you can catch me on the corner of every boulevard, baby. Check out the links below to follow me. Those links will lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PNTS Network, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and yes, the Stadia Dosage. And with that being said, now that we are all in a place of knowledge, y'all all go, spread that knowledge, and y'all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.